Okay, then in this video we'll talk about scope. So you might already know that a variable created inside a function belongs to the local scope. That means it's not available outside the function. So let me show you what I mean. So in here I have a variable which is x, and I have created this variable inside my function. That means it has a local scope. So in other words, this variable is only accessible within this function. And outside this function, this variable is not accessible. So for instance, if I run this function and then if I want to access this variable, let's say I would like to print this function, Python will throw an error. It says name x is not defined because this one is in the function, inside the function. Okay, so now, but this function, this variable is available if you have inner functions. So let's say if I create another function inside this function, so def my inner function, that would be my inner function, and this variable x will be accessible within this my inner function. So let me print this for you and then you can see it. And let's run this function, inner function, like this. And if I run my outer function, which is this, it's gonna run this my inner function in here, and that means it should print out this x, even though it's inside this inner function. Okay, so let me show that to you. So you see, it's printing out the 30, even though it's inside this inner function, not in the outer function. So now let's discuss global scope. So a variable created in the main body of the Python code is a global variable and belongs to the global scope. So that means if you create a variable in the main body, which is not in the function, let's say in here. So if I say x equals to 10, this variable is available everywhere. It's available in the main body, it will be available inside this function, etc. Okay, so for instance, if you would like to print this in here, you can easily do that. But right now I have 2x, so it's in here and in here. So Python will treat them separately. So Python will think that this one and this one are separate, and that's why it will think that when I say x, I'm referring to the one which is inside this function. So let me demonstrate this one by saying y. So if I say y, and then I can easily print this y in here. So let me, for now, comment out this so we don't get confused. So it should print y, which is 10. You see, it's 10. So now if you would like to change the value of the global variable inside the function, for instance, that's y, and if you would like to change it inside the function, you can do so by referring to it using global keywords. So I will say global, and then I'll be referring to my y, so which is in the main body, like this, and then I can now change it. So I'll say y, and then let's make it 20. So now it should print 20 in here rather than 10. So let me show that to you. So you see, it's 20 in here, and I can also put this one in here. That's still gonna be 20. So you see, it's still 20 because we're changing the value of y in here in the function. Okay, so, and you can also use global keyword when you would like to create a global variable inside the function. So for instance, if I would like to create a global variable inside this function, I can use global, and then I can say, for instance, z, right? So, and then I can see z equals to, I don't know, maybe 80, and then it's easily accessible. It will be easily accessible outside this function. So if I print this, if I run my code, it should print 80, as you can see. That's all because of this global variable. Okay, so that's all about scope. I think it's very easy to understand. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.